Hello friends, in this tutorial I will show how to store data into Oracle database table by using just HTML and JDBC and Servlet technologies. So this is very beginner friendly video and let me show you how it works. So here I have a insert user details app. Let me show you overview how it works. I will just right click on the application and then run on server. So now the program is running in the server and you see a basic HTML page that appears on the browser. So upon entering the details will store successfully inside a Oracle database. So here I have a Oracle database and I have a single table called user details, and in the user details I have 4 columns: name, email, phone and city. And let me refresh it. So here there is no data in the table right now, and let me enter details. So I will enter name as Sam and email sam123@gmail.com, and phone number we can enter some phone number, and city Hyderabad, and click on submit. You see there is a message, details inserted successfully. Let me open my DB and let's see whether the details are reflected in the database or not. So let me refresh it. So the details are inserted here, and now let's see how to build this application. First we will create a Oracle table called user details, my DB, and password is root. So the connection is established. So let's create a table. Go and right click on tables, click on new table. That's it. Click on OK. Now you see user details table is created and there is no data in it. Now let's open Eclipse. We will create a new dynamic project, new dynamic web project, and we will name it as insert user details app. So we will name it as insert user details app and click on finish. That's it. We don't need to do anything. Now before we build the project, let's do some setups. So first we have to have the Servlet API in the build path. Let's right click on it, go to build path, click on configure build path. There will be libraries, click on libraries, click on class path, add external jars. So we need Servlet API. So my Servlet API is in Tomcat. So go to Tomcat, go to lib. So search for Servlet API jar. So this is the Servlet API jar. If you would like to download it from the any web browser, you can download it and you can place it there, but I prefer this thing. Apply and close. So now the Servlet API is added to the class path. Now so in this application we will establish connection with the database. So for that we need a JDBC jar. So I have my JDBC jar in my desktop. So we need to place that JDBC jar in the web app folder inside webinf inside lib. So we need to place it in the lib folder. So go to the JDBC jar and I will copy it, Ctrl C, and we will paste it here. Paste. Let's see. So JDBC jar is available here now. Now we are ready to build the project. First I will start with the HTML page. So we need to create all the HTML pages in the web app folder. Just right click on web app, go to new HTML file. I will name it as index.html. So index.html is ready. I will zoom it. I think this is fine, we don't need this. So I will title it as user details, and in the body tag let's start writing the code. So I will give it a h2 tag. So in the h2 I will write enter user details. This will appear in the bold, not bold, this will appear as the heading for the form. And now we will take a form tag, form, and for this we will use the method post because we are posting the data, sending the data to the servlet. So method post, and the action I will use as insert. So this insert will be mapped to the servlet, the actual servlet that we are going to use. So first I will take the field name, input type is text, name is equal to name. I will take 2 break tags so that we will get enough gap between the fields. So this is the very basic code of HTML that we built in the HTML page. Now you save it, and then when you click on the submit button, the request will go to the mapped insert servlet. So let's go and create servlet. So before that we will create the package. The package name is com.app.servlet. So we will create one more package for database connection, that is app.db connection, and we will take one more package for DAO layer, com.app.dao. So whenever you click the submit button, it will go to the insert mapped servlet. So we will create a servlet here, and the servlet name is insert user details. So this is our servlet class. So this will become servlet only when we extend it with the HTTP servlet. Extends HTTP servlet. So we need to import HTTP servlet, import, and we will map it with the web servlet @web servlet annotation, and what we're gonna use, insert. So whenever you click submit on the HTML form, the data will come to this particular servlet because now you have mapped with the insert keyword. So we have to import web servlet annotation. Now So we are using post method in the HTML form. As you can see, we are using the post method. So now we have to use post method here. So what is the post method in the HTTP servlet? Protected void to post, and there are two parameters in the method. First one is HTTP servlet request HTTP servlet response. So we have to catch the exception for this. Throws servlet exception and IO exception. So Control Shift O to import all the classes. We have to add a default serial version ID. Just click on add serial version ID so that you will get rid of the warnings. So whenever we click submit, all the data that we have entered in the HTML form will come into this request object. So from that request object we will access them. So how we will accept them? By using the get parameter method. So first string name, we will access the name, that is request dot get parameter of name. So now we have read all the data that came from HTML form. So now what is the next thing we have to do? We have to insert into the Oracle database. For that we need to establish connection with the Oracle database. So to establish connection between Oracle database and JDBC, I am going to create a class which gives us Oracle database connection. So let's go to com.app.db connection package, right click on it and just click on class. We are going to create DB connection class. So here first I will take some values, the values that we need to establish connection. They are URL, username and password. So I will take private variables because we are going to use these variables inside the class. So now we got details. Now I will create a method which returns connection object. So the method name is public. So I will make it a static so that we can use the method using the class name itself. Public static connection get connection. So this is the method name. What it will do? It will returns connection object. So here I will take connection con is equal to null initially, and we need to import connection class from java.sql package. So here we have to load the Oracle driver. It is not essential for newer versions of Java, but for safety purpose we will do it. So that is class dot for name. So the driver class is Oracle. So what it will do? It will loads Oracle driver to the current class. So this is actually this throws exception, so we will click on surround with try catch, so it will build try block and catch block automatically. So we will cut it and we will paste it here. So what it will returns? This will returns a connection object. So we will use con because we have already initialized it with null. So now how to establish, how to get the connection? Con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. So that is URL. We have to send 3 parameters: URL, username and password. Okay, we need to import. So we will add catch class to the surrounding try already, so that it will add another catch for SQL exception. This method will return connection object whenever you call it. So we will save this program and then we will go to our servlet. So here we have to create one more class that actually inserts the data into the database. So for that we will create another class, the class name called insert user details DAO. So in this class we will write a method public. This will return an integer. So why we are returning integer? Because when we insert the data, so if the data is inserted successfully, it will return integer value of 1. If it is failure, it is of 0. So to know whether it is success or failure, we will use the return type as integer. So public int insert user details. So what this method will do? Inserts user details into DB. So for the insertion, how many parameters we need? We need 4 parameters. What are they? Got all the 4 parameters. And now what we have to do, we have to establish connection with the database so that we can insert the data by using prepared statement. So now, but how do we get connection? By using the DB connection class. So let me write connection con is equal to db connection dot get connection, right? We need to import connection. So as the return type is integer, I will initialize an integer result with the value 0 and I will return it. I will return the result. Return result. So now we have connection object. Now let me create prepared statement. So prepared, we use prepared statement to execute database queries. But what is our query here? The insert query. Let's write the query values. What are the values? Name, email, phone and city. So that's our query. Let's import prepared statement. So surround with try catch because it throws SQL exception. Now let's set the values to the prepared statement. ps.setString of 1. What is the first one? Name. So now we have to call execute update method. ps.execute update. So ps.execute update, it will return an integer value of result. We will store that integer value in result. So if the If this query executed successfully and the data inserted into the database, so the result value will be 1. So that will be returned to the method call. Okay, we'll save it. Let's go to our actual servlet. Now here we will create an object for the insert user DAO class. And now what method we have to call? So we have to call insert user DAO dot. So we have to call insert user details method with all the parameters: name, email, phone, and city. So this will return an integer value. I will store it in result. Integer result is equal to insert insert details of these parameters. So if this method executes and it will update the data into the database successfully, it will return of integer value 1. That 1 will be stored in the result. So now how will we get to know? By using a if statement. If result is greater than 0, that means it is executed successfully, and we will use response dot getWriter println method to print the status of the updation. So if the result is greater than 0, that means details inserted successfully, else details not inserted successfully. That's it. So this is our program. Save this one, and to load the index.html page, we have to create web.xml in the web.inf folder. Let's click on web.inf folder, go to file and create a web.xml folder. So you click on source, the town. So we have to write welcome file list tag, and in this we have to write welcome file as index.html. Alright, before I run the program, let's go and check on our database. So we have no data in our table called user details. Now let me go to the Eclipse and run the program. Right click on the program, run on server. So click on Apache. So Tomcat, you can use any version, but I will use Tomcat version 9, and click on next. You can browse the directory, so it is in my D drive, Tomcat 9. Select this folder and click on next, finish. So you can see the server is started, and you can see it has loaded the HTML page. So the name is, I will enter Sam Hyderabad and click on submit. So you can see details inserted successfully, which means our details are entered into the database. Let's check on our database. So let me refresh. See, you can see, so the details are reflected in the database, which means our application works successfully. Now I will explain the execution flow of the application. After we enter user details in the form and then click on submit button, the browser will raise a post request by keeping the form data inside it. The mapped URL servlet will receive the request and start initialization, creates objects for request and response, and store the post request data in the request object. After that, the servlet starts executing doPost method. The parameters inside the doPost will get assigned to the variables that we have created. Now it will call insert user details method with all the parameters. Now the execution control will go to insert user details DAO class and starts executing insert user details method. In this method, we are getting connection object from DB connection class of get connection method. Now the control will go to DB connection class and starts executing get connection method, then returns connection to the method call. By using this connection object, we created prepared statement, set the values to the prepared statement query, then executed it. If query inserts data, it will return value 1. If query doesn't insert any data, it will return value 0. This value will be returned to method call we did in the servlet. Based on result value, we print whether details are inserted or not. This is all about the execution flow. For more videos, subscribe to my channel. If you have any doubts, please comment it below. Thank you.